Hello YouTube. This is all about bolts that go into the frame, and in this case missing bolts. We want to mount the sway bar bracket on the frame like this one is mounted, but note there's no bolts in the holes, and that's because we're missing all 4 of the captured nuts, so we got to fix that. There's 3 bolts that hold this in place. 2 go there, and 1 goes there through the frame. These are the ones that are missing the nuts on the inside of the frame, and that's what we're going to take care of. This is what the previous owner had in the frame to hold the sway bar bracket in place. There's a couple reasons why you don't want to use that. One is nowhere near as strong as a bolt that's captured on the inside of the frame and you're going through 2 thicknesses of frame. This is just wedged in there and squished, and it could be pulled back out. Number 2, it's made out of brass, it's not steel. Number 3, it sits proud of the frame. So the frame, the bracket can't sit down square on the frame. So you shouldn't do this. And I can get that out by putting my finger inside the frame and pulling it out. The fact that I can stick my finger in there and get to the bolt hole is key to this operation. In order to do this, I have to turn the frame over, so we're going to be working underneath it. I don't have the frame very well balanced on this rotisserie, but I've been making do with what it is. It's a little bit of a hassle to turn it over, but we can do it. Almost. There we go. What I'm going to do is cut a thin strip of metal about that long, and we're going to push it in there and drop it down. We're going to have a nut welded to the top of that, and I can position it by putting my finger in there, and the fact that it's long enough so it can't turn inside the frame will allow us to tighten that nut. And it'll allow us to repeat it. We can take the nut back out, and the captured nut will sit in there. It may not be aligned. We take a Phillips and put it back in there, line the hole back up, and then put the nut back in. So that's the best fix I have for doing this without doing any damage to the frame. This is the bolt we're going to use to go through the frame, through the bracket, and through the nut. It could be 1.25 inches. This is 1.5 inches. 1 inch is too short. I don't have 1.25 inches, so we're going to use 1.5 inches. We're going to cut a strip of metal here, with 2 holes in it, 4 of them. We'll weld a nut to it, and then we're going to cut them in 4 pieces, and then we'll put them in the frame. We have to get a nut and a piece of metal through this hole. We have to worry about the height of the nut and the piece of metal and the width. The height is going to be all right. I've already measured it. We have to measure the width of the piece of metal that we're going to go in there. This hole at the narrowest point is 7/8 of an inch. And we're going to need all of that to get the captured nut in there, because it's going to rest against this edge because the nut's going to take the rest of the space. Okay, while we have it there, let's lay out the center line for the screws. So half of 7/8 is 7/16. So that's 8, that's 7 right there. All right, there's our center line. The frame width where we want to put these pieces is 1 7/8 inches wide, and that's on the outside. So if we make this 1 5/8 inches long, it should fit between the frame. So let's make a couple of them 1 5/8 inches long. All right, that's the length of our pieces, and now we want to drill a hole in the center of that. So this is 1 5/8. So this is 1 1/8. So the center of that is 13/16. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right there. That doesn't look right. That's right. All right, 13/16. All right, let's go cut and drill. We'll clean up the edges. And we'll drill some 1/8 inch pilot holes. Now we'll drill a hole slightly larger than the bolt we're going to use because we want it to not interfere with the bolt when we put the bolt through the hole. Now we got all our holes drilled, we'll finish them up. All right. Now we'll put a nice little bevel on the edges of the holes. See the bevel? Now we'll cut our individual pieces. So here's our setup. We've got the bolt that's going to go through a bracket. They're going to go through a frame, and then this piece will be inside the frame, and this nut will be welded to that piece. And what we have to do now is clean up these pieces. Welding doesn't like this yellow coating. We have to get it off. I forget what they call it, yellow coating. So we'll sandblast these little pieces and the nuts, and then we'll start welding. We have the pieces of metal that we made with the nuts all sandblasted and bolted together. And the reason I'm bolting them together is we made this hole with a fair amount of slop in it so the bolt had play, so it wouldn't have resistance. So what I'm doing is putting the nut on, centering the bolt in the hole, like right there, and tightening the nut. Here we go. We want the nut to thread down into this plate easily without any resistance. So what we're going to do is run a tap down through the nut to clean it out because it's a little distorted from the heat. We'll run it all the way down, run it all the way back. And now, this should thread on easily without any resistance. And it does, it just spins on there nice. We're getting close to trying to mount this here. And what we have is a through the bolt frame here. And the sleeve that goes in there was missing. It's important. So I made up a sleeve, and this is it. And what it does is it slides in this hole here and slides all the way over to the other frame, but sits flush with this frame, so you can't crush the flame. Now what we're going to try to do is slide this bolt into that sleeve all the way through the frame so it doesn't fall down, and we got it. And we get a washer and a nut on this side. These two bolts want to bolt up through the bottom like that. We don't have a nut on the inside. So we are now at the critical point here to see if this works. What we have to do is slide this nut in the hole and get it to land flat up, flat side up. And take our finger and put it in position. Take a bolt and go up through the hole and capture that nut. And do the same thing on the back side, but from the bottom. Okay, so now we got it up, we have to torque it to spec. And we're finally there. They want 45 foot-pounds on those bolts. So let's snug this one up so it's against the frame. We'll tighten it just enough to keep it snug up against the frame, but not tight enough so that when we draw these bolts up, there's a gap. The book says 45 foot-pounds on these, and that seems light to me based on the size of the bolts, but we'll go with the book. And here we go with the acid test. Do they allow me to tighten up? Without spinning, that is. That's 45 foot-pounds. And that's 45 foot-pounds on that, so we're tight there. Now we just got to tighten this up. And if we didn't have that sleeve in there, we would crush that frame. That's 45 foot-pounds. That bracket is in place, and those captured nuts worked. This is the last bolt on the other side. The two captured nuts went in just the way we wanted them to, and everything is torqued to spec. We have the sway bar brackets bolted in place. They're bolted with grade 8 bolts. Grade 8 nuts are in the inside. It's bolted through the frame the way it should be, and they're torqued to 45 foot-pounds. We also have the through the frame bolt with a sleeve, and that's torqued to 45 foot-pounds. Now, we were able to do this because there's access holes. We could get the nuts in. And on a Jeep frame, there are a lot of access holes. So generally, you will not have to do what you have to do if there are no holes. And what I would do if there were no holes is I'd take a hole saw like that, and I'd drill the frame. And then I'd save the puck. And then I'd take that puck and I'd weld it back in place, and you would never know that there was a hole there. So, if you enjoyed this video, there will be more.